It's Thursday, new tonight, a tour bus driver charged with DUI in a crash that injured more than a dozen people headed to the first round of the Masters Golf Tournament.
One of the passengers just gave us a picture of the driver, Stephen F. Hoppenbrow, handcuffed and walking with an officer at the scene. The group had taken off from Midtown to head to the tournament, but just a few miles outside of Augusta, the bus overturned on I-20 around 8:45 this morning. All 18 passengers and the driver were taken to the hospital to be checked out, their conditions ranging from fair to critical. Passengers tell the police officers there the driver veered off the road when the bus flipped and crashed.
Snapchat video taken just moments later shows the interstate shutdown causing a major backup for the first day of the Masters. And tonight we have team coverage as we dig into the bus driver's history. First, we're going to go to Joe Hankey, who is live at Augusta University Medical Center, where several of those crash victims were taken. Joe?
Jeff, I talked with some of those passengers after they left Augusta University Medical Center behind me. Those passengers had minor injuries, but they described what led up to the crash. They told me the bus driver swerved several times on the road. One passenger even told me he was planning a different ride from Augusta back to Atlanta tonight because he wouldn't feel safe getting back on this bus, and then the crash happened.
Within 10 minutes of getting on the highway, we had an incident where the driver was in the rightmost lane and he swerved onto the shoulder and then onto the grass beyond the shoulder.
Shreyas Kataria says the bus driver, Stephen Hoppenbrower, told the passengers he swerved to avoid debris in the road. It alarmed everyone on the bus.
Then we get to about 20 minutes outside of Augusta, and then this incident happens where he literally overshoots the right lane, goes onto the shoulder and onto the grass and tries to overcorrect and turns left, goes from the right lane all the way across past the left lane, swerves, and the van flips over onto the median.
The bus then skidded on its side along the grass and median. Broken glass cut and injured several passengers before the bus finally came to a rest. Kataria and others with minor injuries quickly got off the bus.
But there were 6 to 7 of us who were so critically injured that they weren't able to move.
First responders showed up within minutes and safely rescued those passengers and rushed some of them straight into surgery.
We've got at least 3 people who've got compound fractures and 2 who have broken backs and ribs. So this is unbelievably bad.
For Kataria, this is the end of what should have been a bucket list one-day trip to the Masters. Instead, he heads home to San Francisco in the morning. Thankful he only has a few cuts and scrapes. And the bus driver, 61-year-old Stephen Hoppenbrower, was booked into the Columbia County Jail this afternoon. He's from Gwinnett County. Right now, he's being charged with a drug-related DUI and failure to maintain his lane on the highway. More charges could come once the Georgia State Patrol finishes up its investigation into the crash. Coming up at 6, hear from passengers as they describe what the driver looked like and how he was reacting in the moments after the crash. Back to you.
All right, Joe Hankey reporting, and as Joe was talking to us about those charges, police just let us know within the last 2 hours that this driver had been under the influence of drugs when he was driving, but they would not specify what he is accused of taking.